Hello everyone, Rurikhan here coming at you with another episode of Kast. I'm going to be trying to do these a little bit more frequently because I do want to keep you guys a little bit more up to date on what's been going down, as opposed to just, doing them sometimes not even once a month, which I have to apologize for because I do like keeping you guys in the loop of everything that's going on at any given time. But anyways, let's get this show started as per usual. We're going to be starting with the shout out section. I'm going to be taking a look at my notes whenever you see me looking down. I'm looking at my notes. So, starting up, I would like to give a shout out to, I am so going to butcher your name, dude, Grakov Stepan for donating to the cause. Thank you very much, Grakov Stepan. Your donation is very, very welcome. I would like to also give a shout out to Joseph Cartridge. I will always butcher this guy's name for sure. Joseph Cartridge is a community manager at Bandai Namco, and in case you guys have been wondering why there have been quite a few titles of Bandai Namco on my channel, is because he hooked me up with those titles so that I could be making first impressions videos like the one that's on the screen behind me. And on top of that, he was also the main responsible for getting me a shout out on the official Dark Souls Facebook page. I'm not sure if everybody knew about that or not. As a matter of fact, I believe that probably quite a lot of you guys are actually new to the channel because of that particular post. So I cannot thank him enough for that. And welcome to the channel for those of you that are new. Hope you guys enjoy the various content that I do here, even though Dark Souls is without a single doubt my favorite game of all times, and I will always do tons and tons of Dark Souls content. That is not the only thing I do in the channel, so I hope that is okay with you guys. If not, at least, well, fair warning, because I do a lot of variety. Even though I will always fall back on Souls titles, I will most definitely be covering Dark Souls 2. So just thank you very much for sticking around if you do stick around. If not, well, I'll see you guys someplace else, maybe. I would also like to give a shout out to the Sunlight Blade. I'm going to put in a link to his channel on the description of this video. We did a recording for a video that I'm not exactly sure if that video is going to be out by the time this video goes up or not. But either way, you should check out the Sunlight Blade's channel. He does a lot of top 10 videos for Dark Souls. A lot of fun stuff, usually PvP, like themed kills. Like the thing that we did, the video collaboration that we did was top 10 faith kills, which was a lot of fun. And yeah, shout out to him for inviting me to do a collab with him, because you guys know, those of you who've been around my channel for some time, you guys know that I love doing collabs and all that kind of stuff. So it's always a pleasure. And yeah, that's about it for the shout out section. So next I would like to mention a page that I created at the suggestion of one of you guys from the live stream. This was actually suggested by me by, I believe it was Dry Roasted Lemon. I'm sorry if it wasn't, but I'm pretty sure it was. I didn't point that down. Like, I took a bunch of notes, forgot to take a note down of that, but I'm pretty sure it was Dry Roasted Lemon. He suggested that I check out this website, which is patreon.com. And basically, the way that I see Patreon is like, you guys know how on Twitch there's the subscribe button where if you subscribe to someone, you basically send them $5 every month or so, despite the fact, according to what I've been told, again, this is just what I've been told by people who use that program, they only actually get half of that or whatever, but besides the point. So yeah, Patreon works kind of like that subscribe button. Basically, you can put in an amount if you want to. Like, once again, this is entirely voluntary, and you can put in an amount if you want to, and basically that amount will be sent to me every month or so. So it's just like the Twitch subscribe button, nothing else to it. Once again, I really don't want to be dependent on that, but the fact of the matter is January and February are being complete and utter crap for months. In terms of revenue, as you guys should already know, January and February are the worst months of the year, and I'm going to need to save up a lot of money in order to be able to go to E3, as well as a couple of more expenses that I have lined up. So if you guys are able to help out, check out the page, see if you like the service they're providing or not. But once again, it's going to be completely voluntary, which is why I'm not, they have like a reward program. I don't really intend to do anything special because I don't want to like incentivize people to donate money to get rewards. It's like, no, it's like, look, if you want to donate something, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. It's whatever. Either way, the page is there. I'm going to have to make a video explaining the whole thing better for that specific page. So you can check it out in more detail there. There's going to be a link in the description of the video. Also, I wanted to say in regards to that, it's like something that I've noticed recently is that a lot of people, I mean, not recently, it's been like this probably for a while. I guess that recently it just began to bother me a whole lot more than it used to. But the thing is, there's a whole lot of people lately in the gaming industry that basically make me feel like this is an industry of echoes. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before or not, but it's like every single hot topic that comes up on Reddit or NeoGAF or whatever. I don't even consult NeoGAF, but pretty much everything that comes up on Reddit or NeoGAF ends up on YouTube by like 30 different people. It's like, for instance, if I say Candy Crush, I'm pretty sure everybody knows what the issue was that happened with Candy Crush. And as a matter of fact, is still happening. If I say Flappy Bird, most likely you guys already know all about that, which is why I personally don't do videos about that stuff, particularly because I don't think I have anything new to add on that particular subject. And not only that, but I feel that those topics, by the time I would make a video, they would be debated to death. As a matter of fact, they're being debated to death right now. And I still see new topics on Reddit every single day about Flappy Birds and Candy Crush and whatever. And it's like, it really has become an industry of echoes. And I understand exactly why people are doing that, because here's the thing. Like when a subject is hot, what ends up happening is there's a lot of search for that specific subject because people want to get informed. So they'll go to Google and they'll Google it. And so everybody wants to get people clicking on their videos or on their news articles or whatever. So everybody's reporting the crap out of that. Now, the thing is, you can't really think the way that people can't really think the way that I'm thinking right now, because it's like, oh, if we think like that, nobody's actually going to do it. And it's like, nah, it's fine. But I mean, if we would just bother to do one quick Google search and see if we actually have anything new to add to the discussion, then I think we would not create like 70% or so of the content on the internet. But that might be just my opinion. It might be an unpopular opinion. I don't really know. It's just I avoid doing those kinds of videos. And the reason why I brought this up next to the whole Patreon thing is because I know I could make more money by making videos like that. Like I'll make a 5-minute video and I'll trash the crap out of the Candy Crush guys because that is genuinely how I feel. But is that really the way that I want to go about things? I don't. I really don't, because it's the same topic that I've spoken with you guys before, which is I could make more money by making shorter videos because I could get more views by making shorter videos by appealing more to the mainstream. But that's not what I want to do. I want to keep doing unscripted videos. Like, you guys might be thinking, oh, but you're looking at your notes. That's kind of scripted. Well, it's not really scripted because, I mean, you look over here, you see a whole bunch. Oh, well, you might not actually see anything because of lighting and whatnot. But even if you do see, this is like not a script. It's a bunch of notes. It's a bunch of notes that I have here, and that's about it. But yeah, I'm just saying that it's like I'm not going to switch my content around to be able to attract a bigger audience or anything like that. No, I think I have my niche audience, and I think you guys know, at least most of you should know what you signed up for, because this is the content that I do. And I have no plans of changing that to get higher revenue. So if you guys want to help out through the Patreon thing, that would be great. If not, that's fine. I'm going to keep doing things the way I'm doing until whatever, until I can't do it anymore. That's pretty much the way that I've been doing it. That's pretty much the way that I'm going to keep on doing it. Anyways, also on that particular topic, I have decided that I am going to do one of two things. I haven't decided exactly which one, but this is particularly related to PlayStation Vita footage, because every single time that I have to record Vita, because Vita is a platform that I like to cover. I like covering Vita games because I feel there's a lot of really good games on the Vita. It's just there's a lot of people always saying there's no good games on the Vita. Stop what you're saying. And I'm always like looking at the Vita and it's like, but I see so many amazing titles. I don't understand what these people are saying. Maybe they have way more time than me and they just have played all of these amazing games. But I feel that there's a lot of good games on the Vita. And I feel that there's a lot of good games coming for the Vita. As in, we're going to be getting Tokiden in Europe really soon. I'm not sure I think it's already out in America. And it might even already be out by the time this video gets released because I'm not exactly sure when I'm releasing this video. I'm recording it on the 12th of February, but I'm not exactly sure when it's going to get released. But anyways, we have Tokiden incoming. I believe we're going to get Soul Sacrifice Delta. Today I just recorded Ys Memory of Celceta, which is a great game. I really, really like Ys Memory of Celceta. And there's just a bunch of more titles. There's just a bunch of more titles that I want to record. I want to record stuff on the original Soul Sacrifice. So I need to do proper coverage on the Vita, and the way that I'm doing it is just not going to do it because you guys might think I'm exaggerating when I'm telling you this, but today it took me over 3 hours to set up to record something on my Vita. And when I was done recording it, I look at the footage and I know that the footage is decent and probably acceptable under YouTube standards, but I look at it and I'm like, this is garbage. Like, I can't even look at this in the editor. It's making me want to puke. And it's not because the games look bad. The games look friggin' amazing on the OLED screen, but it's just like having to capture it and having to stretch it. And then the lighting conditions aren't the best because I have to film in the dark because otherwise there's glare on the screen. And then you see my fingers, and then every now and then I'll like move my head a little bit and you will see like a little bit of black show up in the middle of the screen. It's just like, oh no, I hate it. I hate doing it like that, but it's the only way I can do it right now. But I'm going to change that. Like, I don't even care. I'm just going to either send my Vita to Japan, which I'm not sure if that is going to work out because I'm really scared that my Vita is going to get lost along the way. I read an article from Eurogamer where they did that, but then again, I would have more faith in British mail, than British Royal Mail even, or whatever, than Portuguese mail, because Portuguese mail is the most unreliable fucking thing when it comes to delivering stuff to you. Trust me when I say this. It is retardedly unreliable. Like, they will leave your package there for months. I'm not even kidding you. Like, they will leave stuff for you there for months, and then all of a sudden, like, when you think the damn thing is lost and gone, it's like it just shows up in your mail out of friggin' nowhere. And I'm just left thinking, what? You know, so it's like, I'm just really scared that like I'll ship my Vita over to Japan, whatever, and maybe it even gets there, and then maybe it comes back and it becomes stuck in customs, and then they won't be able to send it over, and then it's going to be stuck in mailing service for months, and I'm going to be months without my Vita, which would be a pain in the ass. The other option is just simply buying the Vita itself with the kit already installed, and that is considerably expensive, and obviously I will have no use for a second Vita. I was even thinking of doing like another one of those chip-in things, but I hate that idea. It's just like, I just don't like, because it's like, it's a donation drive, and in this episode there's so much mention of donations already. I don't even want to discuss that, because you guys know that I'm not the kind of guy that will go like, oh, I need this, need that, and the other. I hate that. I really friggin' hate that. So, but yeah, that is definitely going to happen. I definitely want to properly cover Tokiden as well as Soul Sacrifice. And by properly cover means I want to do more than just a first impressions video. I want to do more. I want to do more on those particular games, and maybe even on other titles that are coming for the Vita. And the only way of doing that is having that capture card. Because if I don't have a capture card on the Vita, there is no way that I can do more than one video per game, because my patience will explode. If I have to spend 3 hours of setup time every time I want to record a video for my Vita, I might as well retire at this point. So what have I been up to the last couple of days? Well, the thing that I've been spending more time doing is actually working on the public relations side of things. And by that, what I mean is trying to work with publishers and PR people and stuff like that to get coverage to more titles. And it's been a complete nightmare. Like, for instance, for those of you who don't know, I still don't have, these are just three examples that I still have no support from, that I've been trying to get support from: Tecmo, Ubisoft, and Electronic Arts. And I can't get these companies to get me anything, basically. Like, I send them emails, sometimes they reply and they'll tell me, oh, you got to talk to this person because of localization. In doing videos in English and living in Portugal, it's like people can't understand that. Like, publishers, like a lot of them, they don't get it. They're like, oh, but you have to talk to our local publisher. And it's like, and it's great when the local publishers want to work with you. Like, for instance, I know that I keep harping their name, but for instance, PlayStation Portugal and EcoPlay. Those are two guys from Portugal, two companies from Portugal that have really been supporting me and sending me titles and inviting me to events and stuff, and that's cool. And but that's it. That's the only help I'm getting pretty much in Portugal at this point in time, which is just it's just insane. Because it's like I'm trying to get these games to my audience, to showcase these games, and no, just no. I mean, you guys want me to buy every single game I'm making videos for? That's insane, especially on my goddamn YouTube salary. And something that I've noticed also is that publishers in the US seem to be a lot more open to this kind of stuff, to like YouTube. And, they're a lot more, how should I put it, a lot more ahead of the curve than people in Europe. Because, for instance, you guys are probably aware of a game that's called, damn it, I forget the name, Earth Defense Force 2025. I was curious about checking that game out. So I got in touch with the publisher, who is called D3 Publisher, I think. That's just their name. So I got in touch with them, and it was like, I got in touch with them. I said, look, I'm interested in checking out your game. Would you be interested in sending me a copy? They're like, sure thing. We'll send you a copy right over. Just give us your address. And I was like, they probably don't know that I'm not in the States. So I tell them that I'm not in the States, and they're like, oh, we'll get in touch with our European office. And a couple of days go by, I get no reply whatsoever. And I was like, yep, just like I thought. Once stuff gets to Europe, usually it's like the gears jam and nothing happens. So I send them another email, and I'm just like, yeah, how about you guys just send me like a US code instead? Because like I got a US PSN account and we can do it that way. And they're like, yeah, sure, we'll send you one. And here's the thing, like I'm in Europe, and I'm trying to get codes from the United States so that I can review games. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. Another publisher that's really, really cool in the States is obviously Namco Bandai. Now that I've been working with Joseph Carthage, I mean, just slew of titles. You guys have been seeing a ton of Bandai Namco titles on my channel recently. And another one is Nippon Ichi Software America, or NIS America. Those guys are always awesome. Like, I'll just ask for a title that I want to take a look at, and usually I will receive a title like a week before the embargo date, so that I have time to, so that I can actually have a schedule and properly play the titles before they go out and all that. And this is like a week before embargo, and embargoes are usually a week before the games come out. So that is the proper way to do it, and it's a pleasure to work with. I'll give you that much. But anyways, yeah, that's been one of the things that I've been spending the most time on. It's just like playing the email game, shooting emails back and forth, trying to guarantee that I get titles to bring first impressions to you guys, even though I know that a lot of those titles are going to have to be purchased. Like, for instance, I can't wait on Tokiden, and I can't get any information from them. And it's just not been possible, so I'm going to have to go ahead, and that is going to be a title that I'm going to have to buy, basically. So, yeah. It's just, the reason I spend so much time doing this is because there are a lot more titles that I want to bring to you guys. Like, for instance, I want to bring you Watch Dogs when that comes out. That's going to be a hard one to get, I'm sure. I want to bring you guys Child of Light, which also seems to be a pretty solid title. I want to bring you guys maybe Evolve. I'm still not sure about that one because I haven't done a whole lot of research on it yet. And I really wanted to bring you guys Dragon Age Inquisition, and that one I still don't know if I'm going to be able to get it or not. And there's just a ton of titles, and it's like if you start doing the math, it's like, Okay, so Watch Dogs, $60. Dragon Age Inquisition, $120. Toki then, that's going to, I think since it's a Vita title, I might be able to get it for $50 or some, $170. What else did I said? Child of Light, is that going to be what, a $30 title? I don't know, what are we at? 170, 190. And it's like, it just keeps stacking up. And it's like, you know, it's like I can't afford all that. Brother's got to eat. So next I want to tell you guys about my first impressions method, because I feel that since I've been doing a lot of first impressions videos, and I don't usually harp too much on the negative side of things. And a lot of you guys might be thinking, oh, this is Rurikhan, you're kind of shady. You don't usually badmouth a lot of games. Well, the reason why I don't usually badmouth a lot of games is I tend to avoid games that I don't like. So usually the games that I do get on the channel are usually games that I like, even though, like, if a publisher out of the blue sends me a game, I will always take a look at it, and more than likely I will always publish it. To date, there have been 2 games that I haven't published, that I've received 2 games from publishers or PR people, and 2 games that I didn't publish. I won't say what the names of those games are, but the reason why I didn't publish them is one of them, I just felt the game was so bad that I wouldn't be able to say a single positive thing about the game. And like my review would just like be thrashing the game. Like there was not a single positive thing. And to be honest, I even went up to the guys who sent me the game and I said, look, this game is terrible. I hate it. Like I can't find a single good thing to say about it. And the other is because the game was just in such an unfinished state when they gave it to me that I was like, I mean, the game is not ready. It's just flat out not ready to get any kinds of impressions done on it, in my opinion. So those were 2 reasons why I've never really done those 2 games that I received. But apart from that, I've done pretty much everything. Like, for instance, a couple of off-ball titles that I received that I didn't really request but ended up really enjoying. Danganronpa, for instance. That was a title I really enjoyed. And Ollie Ollie. That was a title that I've actually became addicted to for quite some time. I actually played a whole bunch of Ollie Ollie because... once again, I just became kind of addicted to it. It is a game that, even though it's kind of simple in terms of its gameplay, it allows for a complexity of stuff that you can do to get more points and all that stuff, to just like go ahead and hunt for a bigger score and all that, and the leaderboards. And I don't know, there was just, and just the flow of the gameplay was just a lot of fun. So Ollie Ollie was, again, one of those surprise titles that I didn't ask for. They just sent it to me. Took a look at it, and I was like, this is pretty solid. So there have been both titles that I haven't done, that I've received, and I never did anything with them. And there's also been titles that I've received out of the blue, and I love them and had a blast reviewing them, even though I don't really consider what I do reviews. So the way that I usually do first impressions, in case you guys are curious, is that I always thought back in the day when I looked for reviews when I was buying my own games, I always thought that, like, you know, this whole 5-minute review thing, this is kind of useless to me, because I really can't make the decision of whether or not I'm going to buy this game based around someone's 5 minutes of opinion. I need to watch some proper gameplay. So I would have to search more videos, and I would have to figure out, I want to know exactly how the game works. That's the way that I thought. Like, I would be watching a review and I'm like, look, I don't want to hear a score. I don't want you to tell me, oh, this game is 8 out of 10 or 5 out of 10 or 6 out of 10 or 9 out of 10, whatever. I don't want to hear that, because that tells me absolutely nothing. That tells me whether or not you enjoyed the game. It tells me nothing if I'm going to enjoy that particular game. So I would have to look through multiple videos in order to figure out how the gameplay of a game actually worked, which is the reason why in a lot of my first impressions videos, the first thing I do is I talk about gameplay, and I don't even show you the gameplay. What I do is I tell you how it works. Like, for instance, today I recorded Yeez, and I spent a good while Just saying, look, this is how the mechanic works. You have to square those normal attacks. If you wait for a while, it discharges attacks. And then if you press R1 and you select one of the skills, it's going to do a skill attack. And the skill attack is going to charge up your extra bar. And once you charge up your extra bar, you have access to the extra ultimate super skill. And once you do your charge attacks, that fills up the thing of the others. Basically, I go into this amount of detail because this is what I would be looking for if I was looking to buy a title. I wouldn't be looking for like, oh, was the story amazing? Because there is no way that someone can legitimately tell you, like, this is going to be the best story that you're going to experience. Someone can tell you, in my opinion, I enjoy the story. They can't tell you it's the best story ever in a game, because the story is going to basically live or die on how it affects you and how you relate to the story of a video game. A lot of people went through Dark Souls and they don't even think that the game has a story. They think that game simply has no story, no lore, no nothing. It's just a big game with a solid combat system. There's a lot of people that think that way. And at the end of the day, it's all about whether or not the story of a game talks to you. Which is why it's like, usually I'll tell you guys, okay, I think the story is good. I think the story is like this or whatever, but it's just my opinion. So I try not to harp too much on the story. I want to show you guys the quality of graphics. I want to show you guys the quality of the music. I want to show you guys the quality of the gameplay, the flow of the gameplay, how you actually play the game. That is what I find important in my first impressions. And the other thing is, like I said, I don't harp too much on the negative side of things because I feel that a lot of titles, usually, regardless of what title we are talking about, unless the title is just complete and utter trash like Aliens Colonial Marines, which I actually finished, by the way. I'm ashamed to say that, considering that I don't have the opportunity to finish a lot of games, and I finished Aliens Colonial Marines. But I guess I finished it because I was laughing it off with a friend of mine. But anyways, that's besides the point. As I was saying, I feel that most games, if they're proper games, like usually the stuff I put on the channel are usually proper games, they will usually appeal to someone. And it's not for me to judge who that particular game appeals to. Like, for instance, once again, we go to Dark Souls. Dark Souls is like the perfect title for this kind of stuff because to a lot of people, Dark Souls is not a good game. As a matter of fact, I think I bring this example up maybe too many times, but X-Play, back in the day when G4 was still in its prime or whatever, they gave Demon Souls a 2 out of 5. So to a lot of people, it's like the Demon Souls / Dark Souls mechanics. They don't like that stuff. We happen to like it. At least I think a majority of my audience really enjoys Dark Souls. And that's great. That doesn't mean that other people can't like it. Just like, for instance, if we look at another game like Tales of Xillia, I really enjoy the combat in Tales of Xillia. That's not to say that there's not a whole bunch of people that hate the combat in Tales of Xillia. Or maybe a whole bunch of people hate like the exploration side of Tales of Xillia. Or the way that it works with the animals encountering you in the middle of the forest and then you warp out to a different stage and kind of like that's where you do your battle and whatnot. Maybe some people don't like that mechanic. But at the end of the day, it's not for me to judge. It's for me to present that mechanic to you and tell you how that mechanic works. And it's for for you yourself to decide whether or not that is a game that's worth playing. And usually I'm pretty active in my comment sections. So usually if you ask me anything, I will most of the times reply. And if I don't reply, it means that either I missed you in my emails or something, because I get all the comments of YouTube sent to my mail so that I never forget to go and check them. And either I missed you in the mail or something, or maybe I've just gotten overwhelmed and I might miss a couple of comments every now and then. But most of the time, I've been pretty much on topic answering that kind of stuff. The stuff that it takes me a really long time to answer is YouTube private messages, because my YouTube inbox is a fucking mess. And I don't know why, but the comment section works fine. My inbox, not so much. So if you send me a message in my YouTube inbox and never heard back from me, that's probably why. I try to go there every now and then, but that box is shady as all hell. You're better off trying to reach me on Twitter or something like that. Okay. But that's kind of how I like to do first impressions. I like to really show off the gameplay, and and just kind of show you the mechanics of how a game works. Just really go in depth with that kind of stuff and give you my opinions on that specifically, and not necessarily play through the whole game and then do a 5-minute thing and give it a score, because I don't give a whole lot of value to that stuff. Like, I'll watch a couple of them every now and then just out of curiosity, because actually, now that I've come to think of it, usually when I watch that kind of stuff, I'm more curious just because I know the reviewer, and I don't mean know them personally. I know the kind of reviewer they are, and I want to see what they think about a specific game. Like, for instance, a lot of people have seen Adam Sessler's content, so a lot of times I like to see what he thinks about a game. A lot of people have seen Total Biscuit's content. I like to see what Total Biscuit thinks about a game. Doesn't necessarily mean that I would agree with him a lot of the times, but I'm still curious about what he might think about certain games. Anyway, that is my first impressions method. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the topic of live streams. So previously, I've been doing videos on YouTube that I upload to YouTube, and then those videos go online on the channel, and I say, oh, I'm doing a live stream, blah, 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 blah. And to be honest, I am going to stop doing that, because it's, at the end of the day, it is a pain in the ass. That's the easiest way I can put it. You guys might think, oh, but come on, it's just a 5-minute video, whatever. It's a pain in the ass. You guys have no idea. It's a pain in the ass to have to do that. Even though those videos are simple, they're super easy. Like, I'm not saying it's complicated to do the videos. It's just a pain in the ass for me to, like, okay, I think that today I'm going to be able to live stream at this time, because my schedule is chaotic as all hell because of the inconsistency that I have with the publishers that I told you guys about. Like, since it's so inconsistent, I might suddenly receive a game that I need to take a look at so that I can do one of my first impressions videos. And if I suddenly receive a game, then I can't live stream, because usually the way I do is YouTube takes priority over Twitch for me, because that's just where the majority of my audience is. And that is definitely where the majority of my income is coming from. So that's what I need to pay more attention to, YouTube. So if a game suddenly arrives, I might have to take a look at it, and I might not be able to live stream. So the fact that I need to make a video, render it, upload it, put some tags on it, and then put it on YouTube and assign a specific hour for which I'm going to be live streaming, a lot of times I end up not live streaming just because of me thinking about the fact that I have to make a video before I do the live stream. Like I said, it's a hassle. It's a pain in the ass. So the way that it's going to work is the same way that it worked for the past 2 live streams, which is basically I'm going to announce it on my social networks, which is Twitter, Google+, and Facebook. And shortly thereafter, I will go live, because that's the way my schedule works. I'm sorry. I would really like to be able to give you guys precise dates, like I'm going to be live streaming this Wednesday at this time. But the way that my schedule works, it's completely impossible. Like, just for you guys to get an idea, this past Saturday, I thought I was going to be able to record like 4 or 5 episodes of Dragon's Dogma. That was my plan. Like, I'm going to knock out a whole bunch of episodes of Dragon's Dogma. You know how many of those I recorded? 2. You know why? Because I received a call from my father shortly after lunch, and he asked for my help, where I had to go and help him out with some IT stuff. Even though I don't really do IT anymore, I still help out my father whenever he needs my help, because he helps me out, obviously, on a lot of stuff. So I never say no. But yeah, he needed me a Saturday afternoon. I was gone. And I was only able to actually record 2 videos when I got back home, because it was late as all hell. So that's kind of how my schedule works. So a lot of the times it is... it's impossible for me to plan that far ahead to do a live stream. So the only way I can do live streams is like, look, I'll notify you guys on my social networks. And I realize a lot of people don't want to get Facebook. I myself, I barely use Facebook. I use an application that manages all that stuff. It's called hootsuite.com, or I don't know exactly how to pronounce it, but that's the application I use. And basically it lets me manage my Facebook page, lets me manage Google+, even though I don't pay that much attention to Google+, but I post there. It lets me manage my Twitter account. So that's what I use. I barely even go to Facebook. So I understand people don't want to go to Facebook. People maybe don't want to get a Google Plus account, even though you kind of need a Google Plus account these days if you want to comment on YouTube. So I know that a lot of you guys have a Google Plus account, so you have no reason not to follow me on Google Plus. But, and there's also Twitter. I mean, Twitter, I don't get it. Twitter is not that big of a deal. You can just get a Twitter account or whatever. Or if you just follow me on the stream thing or whatever on Twitch, you will get an email notification. So there are plenty of options for you to know that I'm live streaming. I just can't do the whole make a video, put it on YouTube. It's just not going to happen anymore, because what is happening is I actually end up not live streaming because of that. And not all of my live streams are going to end up on YouTube either, because I don't think that they should. Like, I did the whole glass mage thing because I knew that's something that you guys wanted to see, that you've been asking for a long time, that you really wanted to see me do a mage. So that's why I uploaded the mage playthrough onto YouTube. If something happens in the live stream that I think it's noteworthy, then sure, I'll do it. But like, for instance, the Ni no Kuni live stream was pretty uneventful. We've saw the game. I think everybody in the stream agreed that the game was a lot of fun, but nothing particularly exciting happened. I mean, the game is fun. That's pretty much it. I enjoyed the game a whole bunch. I still need to play it a whole lot more so that I can know more about the mechanics, so that I can make my first impressions video for you guys, which is something that I should be doing right now, but I'm recording a Kast instead because I'm a boss like that. Anyways, something that also happened recently is I've been growing more fond of JRPGs by the day. Like, every day goes by, I just become more and more fond of JRPGs. Is that an ad? Wow. Sorry, banged the microphone. That's actually a Portuguese ad. I'm not sure if you guys ever seen that one. I was just wondering, like, I was looking at the, what do you call the thing on the camera? It's called viewfinder. I was looking at the viewfinder and I'm like, that doesn't look like one of my videos. Damn, YouTube, you're getting ads even in the middle of my video. Oh, that's terrible. Anyways, as I was saying, I've been growing more fond of JRPGs by the day. As a matter of fact, not just JRPGs, Japanese games in general, and even Japanese culture. I enjoyed Danganronpa, like I said. I've now become a fan of the Tales series. I've become a fan of the Yi series because I really enjoy those types of gameplay. And it's just, I've really been enjoying Japanese developed games recently. So that's been a thing, and that is something that I hope I can keep getting more of those Japanese incoming my way, so that I can keep providing guys with first impressions on those. Maybe even full playthroughs. A lot of you guys have requested for full playthroughs on Tales of Xillia. The only thing that I'm really thinking whether or not I want to do that is because I believe Tales of Xillia is probably a pretty big game, isn't it? I don't know. But yeah, I've definitely became a big fan of the Tales series. I had never experienced that combat before, and I thought that combat was a lot of fun, as well as just the story, the graphical style. I liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Also, something that was a direct consequence of me having played Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Burst Full... whatever, the Naruto game that I covered recently, one direct result of that is that I've actually been watching a whole bunch of Naruto whenever I have a couple of free minutes. I've been watching that, and I'm enjoying the series. It's not like I'm dying to see more of that series. My favorite character in the series, for those of you who are curious, is Rock Lee. I mean, what else should it be? Rock Lee is like the best character in the entire show. As a matter of fact, the show shouldn't be called Naruto. It should be called Rock Lee, Ninja Shippuden Storm, whatever. No, Rock Lee is a lot of fun. I think Rock Lee is really cool. Something that I've been slacking on is exercising. As you guys are aware, I've been dieting for over like a year now. And I've also been doing somewhat of exercise, like daily walks and bicycle and whatever. And ever since I got back from being with my family at the end of the year, I haven't done any of that because I've just been way too busy trying to catch up with all this additional work and stuff. And that's something that I got to work on. And also something that I've noticed is that I've been losing interest in MMOs, which is interesting because I started making videos for World of Warcraft, for those of you who don't know. That was the very first game ever that I made videos for. And the reason It's interesting if you look at the reason why I began making videos. Like the reason I started making World of Warcraft videos is because a lot of people used to think that like tanking in World of Warcraft is this big deal. As a matter of fact, I think a lot of people still think that tanking in World of Warcraft is, oh my God, I don't want to be a tank. I don't want responsibility. And the reason why I started making videos is to tell people it's not. It's so easy. You wouldn't even be able to, you won't even be able to tell how easy it is. And that was the whole basis. I was teaching people how easy it was to tank. I did series on warriors, paladins, and death knights. I never did druids because I didn't like to stare at bare ass. So yeah, but that was one of the reasons why I started doing videos. And recently I noticed that I've been losing a lot of interest in MMOs because MMOs have gone from being a game that keeps you entertained by providing you with content and challenge and all that, to a game that just wants to keep you playing for as long as possible. Or maybe it was always like that and I never noticed when I was playing World of Warcraft, but I just feel that these days MMOs, they just want to keep you playing. They don't even care if you're having fun. They want you hooked. They want you addicted and playing that game forever. As a matter of fact, there's a lot more titles that are guilty of that with just like DLC and just endless streams of DLC all over the damn place. And it's like, whatever happened to people making a game, selling a full experience, and then when we're done with the game, we're done with it and we'll move on. It's like, I miss those days. I miss the days that you actually went out and bought a full box and you had the full game. But then again, I think I've mentioned this already in the deep down video, so I don't want to harp too much on that. I've just, in case you guys are wondering, like what my thoughts are on the whole Elder Scrolls fiasco, I think it's a bunch of crap, to be honest. Like the whole thing about, oh, how'd you buy the collector's edition, get the Imperial race, and all this other stuff. And again, thousands of other people have already expressed their opinion on this. My opinion isn't really that new. As a matter of fact, if you want to know my opinion, I pretty much share the same opinion as Force, so you can check out Force's videos on that topic and you'll be pretty much well informed on how I feel about it myself. I think it's pretty much bullshit that developers expect to release a title, expect people to pay full $60 for it, expect people to pay a $15 monthly fee, and then expect to still charge you for additional content on a microtransaction store. And it's kind of like we've gotten to the point where we even accept that so long as it's like cosmetic, because I was thinking about it and I'm like, man, if it was just cosmetic stuff, I'm sure I wouldn't even mind. And then I come to my senses and I'm like, wait a minute. What do I mean I wouldn't mind? Of course I would fucking mind. Everybody should mind them, should mind that. Are you kidding me? People paying $15 a month for a game and having content that's denied to them unless they pay more? I'm sorry, no. Even if it's just cosmetic, no. Flat out no. It's wrong. Fuck you. No, seriously, it's like, what do you want from us? You want like our whole damn pension? You want like all of our money? Come on. You got to draw the line somewhere. I mean, if you're charging full $60 for a game, that's fine. If on top of that you want to charge a $15 fee, subscription fee, that's fine. But guess what? You don't get to do a cash shop. And World of Warcraft shouldn't be doing it either. I've never been like supportive of that. I had to buy a Sparkle Pony for my wife at the time because she loved that mount. But like, I hated doing that. I was like, oh, fine, I'll buy it for you because you want it. But I hate doing that. It's like, oh, I feel like a retard. And it's like, if you guys remember the video that Total Biscuit made at the time, it's exactly what he said. Like when Blizzard came out with the Sparkle Pony, Total Biscuit said it's going to be a slippery slope. And that's pretty much where we've gotten to now with Elder Scrolls having microtransactions, full-priced game, and monthly subscription. That's pretty much where we got to the end of the slippery slope. Actually, maybe it's not even the end. Who knows what's going to come out next year, what other ways that people can get to extort money from you. So I've kind of just lost a lot of interest in MMOs, basically. So Dark Souls, in regards to Dark Souls, the Glass Mage is over. I'm not sure if there's going to be anything new that I'm going to be doing. I mean, I did the whole top 10 tips. I might do another top 10 tips videos. You guys seem to really enjoy that one. I might do an additional one with 10 more tips for Dark Souls, maybe something more advanced. Like a lot of people wanted me to talk on the subject of critical attacks like backstabs, parrying, probably plunging attacks as well. Maybe I'll go into a little bit more detail with the upgrade system. I don't know. I might think up of another 10 tips that I want to give out and give those out. As usual, I will not be giving like specific, oh, if you're going into Smo and Ornstein, make sure to kill someone first. And I'm not going to do anything like that. Not going to be specific is where I'm getting at. But yeah, apart from that, I'm not exactly sure what other Souls content I'm going to be doing. Unit Lost the Unit Lost guys have been kind of slacking off on their live streams, and I don't blame them. I mean, it's a lot of stress for Stylosis, so I haven't really been pressuring him about the Jolly Cooperation days. I'll wait until they decide that they feel kind of up to doing more Jolly Cooperation or even doing Dragon's Crown, because that's something that I also wanted to do with them. So I've just been harassing the crap. I mean, I was harassing the crap out of them to do some Dragon's Crown, but they're still thinking about it. So whenever they get their heads around to it, I would love to do it. I'm always available for collaborations, as I've said. So, and the other thing is we still got a lot of Dragon's Dogma with us, it seems, because Dragon's Dogma seems to be taking quite a while. On the last episode that I did was actually episode 39. You guys most likely haven't seen that by now. In episode 39, I did a little bit more of Bitter Black, pretty much. But I haven't really gone past the point of the big eye boss that I died last time. And I've decided that I'm probably going to go do Grigory before I do the rest of Bitter Black, because a lot of you guys have expressed that if I keep running Bitter Black, most likely I'm going to get overpowered gear. And once I get overpowered gear, Grigory is going to be a cakewalk. So I'm trying to avoid that, even though I think I'm almost at level 80 now. But yeah, I mean, it's like, because I went into Bitter Black Isle because a lot of people said, you need to do Bitter Black Isle before you do Grigory, because then it's going to change. And then once I said I was going to do that, and I already had a whole bunch of episodes made of me doing that, a whole lot of people started saying, no, you're doing it all wrong. Grigory is going to be a cakewalk. And it's like, I'm sorry, guys. It's like, I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm trying to follow your advices here to try and provide myself with a decent amount of challenge while still following your suggestions somewhat, but you guys are making it somewhat hard for me to do that. So just bear with me. I think we still have a lot of episodes of Dragon's Dogma ahead of us, and a whole bunch of first impressions videos as well. This is pretty much all I had to say in regards to today's episode. Remember, if you're interested, check out that Patreon page that I told you about. The link's going to be in the description. And make sure to follow me on one of my social streams like Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. If you want to know when I'm going to be live streaming, or follow me on Twitch, whatever, all of those links also going to be in the description section below. Oh yeah, and make sure to check out Sunlight Blade's channel for the collab video that we did together. Probably going to be retweeting that whenever he puts it up. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode of Kast. Sorry, I'm already like super tired, haven't really been sleeping much, and I'm already like rolling my tongue and whatnot. And now I gotta go work on some more Ni no Kuni. And when I say work, I mean I'm gonna play it so that I can then make a video for you guys about it, because that game, I love that game too. That game's freaking amazing. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. As per usual, leave me your comments, feedback, all the kinds of good stuff in the comment section below. And I will see you guys in the next one.